Hello, everybody at Kia of Dayton. This is Deanna, your coach with Phone Ninjas, and today I'm going to be reviewing with you your reporting for the month of December. So nice work here with a 3.49. As you can see, we've seen a steady increase here over the last several months. So let's just keep that up and let's work towards a 4.0. And then we did a nice job here setting some appointments, but we really want to work towards getting to a 60% rate. Chuck, Eric and Will have achieved that. They have gotten that 60%. So we just want to get Kelly Jr. and Steven to that as well. And everyone has done a really good job of reviewing their calls. As they're reviewing their calls, we also want to make sure we're marking whether or not the customer showed up to the dealership for that appointment and whether or not they purchased a vehicle. So if we go to, this is the page that is linked to their, when they get an email that it's been coached and they click on the link, this is what pops up. And so what we want to do down here is, I picked the one that doesn't have an appointment. Here we go. And so what we want to do is just go down here to the very bottom, and we want to mark whether or not the customer purchased the vehicle, if they sold, or excuse me, whether or not they showed up, whether or not they purchased, and then click submit. And then if we do that, let me change that back, that will actually show up on the main page under here, and we'll be able to see those percentages of how many of those appointments led to actual customers in your dealership, and then also it will let us know how many of those appointments led to actually sold vehicles. So that is one thing I just want to make sure the team is doing as they move forward with reviewing their calls. Now, what I want the team to focus on is the selling the appointment step. So we want to use the correct technique when asking for the appointment. Ask more than once. Try to set up something tentative. At the very least, we want to set the expectation that you're going to follow up with the customer. And then also, we want to make sure that we're focusing on the closure step. So we want to use the correct technique to sell our information, use the correct technique to ask for the customer's email address, reconfirm the appointment time, and then remind the customer to call if they're running early or running late. Now, one thing I did want to just let you see here is in gray, this is our overall dealership and how people are scoring on average. And as you can see, in every category, you guys are above average. So you're definitely moving in the right direction. We just want to continue to work towards our own benchmarks, and that 4.0 and that 60% is what that is. Now, in addition to reviewing calls in a timely manner, let's make sure we're maintaining our certifications. So every time I score a call, if someone scores below a certain percentage, it's going to uncertify them, and that's just a reminder that they need to go back and review that step and that technique, and so it's going to ask them to rewatch those videos and retake the quizzes. So in addition, again, to reviewing the calls, let's also stay on top of these certifications. So next we're going to take a look and see where your dealership is ranked by score. Out of 227 dealerships, you guys are at 68. So fantastic job there. You're definitely in our probably our top, I would say top 25%. And now if you want to kind of squeeze or scroll down here, you can see where some of the other Martin dealerships are. So if you want to see where you are compared to some other Martin dealers, you're probably in the top 3. Let's see, we got, well, that's not Martin. Let's see what we got up here. All right, so we got Middlesville Ford and South Carolina's up there, and I think we have one other. I think we have Martin Dodge out in Kentucky that might be up here as well. So, here we go. Yep. And so if you want to really just encourage your team to try to work towards getting above those other dealerships and being in the top Martin dealership, that's definitely an incentive. But if you're not the competitive type, that's fine. Let's just stay focused on then the benchmarks we set for ourselves. Now, I do want to remind you that every month we take our top 4 dealerships there and we put them into a drawing. And then at the end of the year, so we haven't done 2020 yet, but at the end of the year, we'll pick a name from the hat out of those top 4 dealerships for the entire year, and that dealership will win a trip to Hawaii. You can use it however you'd like. The GM can take it. You can give it to an MVP on the team or a high-scoring employee on the team, and that's paid for completely by Phone Ninjas, and that's 6 nights, lodging, airfare for 2, and $1,000 spending cash. So it's like a true vacation. So that is something that we have the entire 2020 to work towards getting into that top 4. Now, for individual sales reps, we do have the perfect score contest, and so every time someone gets a perfect score, their name gets put into a hat, and then at the end of the quarter, we haven't done quarter 4 yet, but at the end of the quarter, we'll pick a name from the hat, and that individual will win a trip to Hawaii. Same deal, paid for by Phone Ninjas. So that's another incentive that we have for your team. Next, I just want to take a look at hold time. So this is the amount of time from when the customer rings in to when they're put on the phone with one of the sales representatives that we coach. And we want to keep this under a minute. 30 to 45 seconds is actually ideal. We just don't want the customer to be on hold for too long before they're actually able to talk to a customer. And right now you guys are right over a minute, so it's not bad, but we can definitely get that down a little bit just to keep that interaction with the customer as positive as possible. Now, if you have any questions, my contact information is here at the top of the screen, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and Happy New Year.